Do you need encouragement to turn tragedies into your own triumphant life story? If so, this podcast is for you. Listen to powerful guests who have persevered through challenges so you can gain strength to build your championship life. The host of Professor of Perseverance podcast, Dr. James Purdue.
Yeah, come on in today. Let's get some motivation, get some inspiration, let's get some encouragement. Let's find some hope out there. That way we know that when something comes to kick us in the teeth called life, we know that we can still have a great life. Hey, what's our theme? Perseverance. And they don't call me the professor of perseverance for a reason, but we have found another guy that has persevered. I don't care. Something come along, he just kind of smiles at it, kicks a little dirt, and moves on in life. Our guest today, when he was born, the doctors told his parents he won't be able to walk without braces or crutches. Family took him home and loved him as he is. He was bullied in school because of his challenges. All right. But he just kept persistent, persevering, proving over and over again how people were wrong. He lives also with spinal stenosis. For the ones that don't know what that is, it's your spine, your bony part, is so tight around your cord that it has a hard time even turning left and right. All right. And on top of all this, he has autism. Man, talking about getting the dealt a hard hand to play, but he learned to play it. He's a motivational speaker, autism advocate. He's an author, founder of Crazy Fitness Guy. All right. Has his own podcast called Crazy Fitness Guy, Healthy Living Podcast. Welcome to the show. Man, going to be exciting listening to him today. Jimmy Clare.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you being here, man. This is going to be a good time, boy. I love when we have some people. Not that I love to get beat down and hit hard, but I just love it when they get up and dust themselves off and kind of smile and move on. Now, and you seem to do a lot of that.
That's true.
So there you go. I mean, it's as well as I do, Jimmy. You've been at this challenges in life like me, and we have two things we can do in life. We can curl up in a ball and whine and cry and do nothing, or we can get out and do the best we can and live the best life that we can. Don't mean it'd be perfect, but it could be better than, like I said, rolling up in a ball and quitting.
True. It's like anybody could, like I said, it's like, anyone could roll up in a ball, and, I could roll up in a ball and quit tomorrow, but I'll just feel bad and continue to feel bad. And yeah, it's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help my parents. It's not going to help anyone. So what's it to feel sorry about?
Again, there's nothing. I mean, nothing wrong with feeling bad when a bad circumstance comes, especially when you don't expect it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's natural. But to stay there forever, that can't be natural. You've got to be able to dig your way out and find a good way to have a good life.
Yeah, there's definitely times when I feel like there's times where I feel very down. It just basically sucks all the energy out of you, and it really does suck. I mean, like, no pun intended, but it really does suck.
Oh, yeah. And I have one friend that her name's Jan. Hey, Jan, what's up, Jan? So she's not on or anything, but Jan, when you came in and listen, we're mentioning your dad again, that her dad used to say, it's okay to visit Pittyville, but it's not okay to stay there. You all right? And so, we're going to get down and out. We're going to get depressed, and it's okay to get down there. But while you're there, look around in your life and see what you have accomplished. See what you have gone through and overcome and beat. And you can't stay there and depressed forever once you've seen how far you really come in life.
Definitely.
So, and another guy you were talking a minute ago about you could be down and out and whining and crying and be negative, and all you're going to do is just feel bad. Okay, but you prefer on the positive end, and that's what Zig Ziglar, motivational speaker, said, and I'm paraphrasing that he said that being positive doesn't mean you don't get negative things in your life. It just means that you can handle things better being positive than you could being negative.
So true.
So, all right, Jimmy, and again, I'm glad you're here and everything. And we're going to let you hop in and leave you the platform, and you take off, and you think you start us where you think would be best for us to catch you up in life.
Well, so when I was born, I was told from doctors and teachers and other. Well, first the doctors told my parents I wouldn't be able to walk without braces or crutches. Uh, I have neither. I've never had any braces or crutches. Uh, the only thing I had was a cast on my arm because I broke my arm before.
Mm-hmm.
But but I'll get to that at some point. But my but then I also had teachers who uh, because so-called experts about autism, they said I wouldn't be able to read higher than a second grade level, and I'm in college now, and reading is one of my strong suits, and uh, I've gone. This might sound kind of weird, but I've won many arguments of being able to because I can read at high level. I read, the fine print on of legal documents when you sign
Oh yeah,
stuff. And I was like,
yeah,
I can read that word from word. I might not understand it, but then I go back and Google's like, what does this mean? And it's like, oh, this doesn't sound good. I was
yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
no, I don't want it.
There you go.
Uh, and and then I also, but yeah, my reading happens to be one of my strong suits, uh, and but it wasn't always that way growing up because in the school systems they told me they made you read certain books, like so. I'll give you an instance. In my school, well, basically in a lot of schools, they kind of shove special education students in one classroom, thinking everybody learns the same, everybody's la di da da, and that's not the case because the person over here could be on my left reading at I don't know sixth grade level.
Mm-hmm.
Someone over here could be reading at an eighth grade level.
Mm-hmm.
And but I could be reading at I don't know 10th grade level or something, and it's not fair for either one of these two. Or and I mean it could go either way of because no one learns the same. Everybody's a different way of learners. Like for me, I'm a visual learner, but I can also read. I can also learn by reading stuff. But but I need but like if it's like step by step instructions, I need pictures along with it because it's like oh part A to part B, and I'm like looking, it's like, well, how do you know which one is part A and part B? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, they both look the same, and but so it's totally wrong that schools do that because by doing that you hurt the students' chances of actually learning something at their level, and so everyone needs a teacher who can teach them at their own level, at their own pace, with and at their preferred style of learning, and at everybody's preferred style of learning. And so, fast forward to middle school, they I had my special education teacher. She helped me. Well, actually, before I tell that story, well, like when I got to elementary school, I was bullied a lot, and then I was also getting pulled out of my classes a lot, and because I didn't know how to interact socially to everyone. And what I really found kind of humorous now, kind of looking at it, because if I was if I had my own kid one day, and the school was doing something that they did to me. And one of the things that they did to me was they pulled me out of my classes to put me in this social group. And I'm like, why are you pulling me out of classes for the social group or smaller classrooms? Like, well, we're going to try to, you need to know how to make friends. Okay, well, it's like, well, by taking me out of the main classroom, you're also making it impossible to me to make friends. So which one is it?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I thought I'm supposed to be making friends here, but okay, you don't want me to make friends then, I guess.
Well, they probably wanted you to start making friends with people like you and the other special ed kids, and not worrying so much about making friends with the world. And I guess I'm just trying to be the teacher advocate here because I used to teach for a while. So I'm just thinking maybe they were saying maybe it'd be easier if you make friends with your kind, easier developed. Then you can worry about making it with the friends or the world. I mean, and which could be good and could be bad. So I understand both sides of it because again, I used to be a teacher, and and, and so you're perfectly right about how they would take a lot of special eds and put them in one room away from the mainstream, and then they would let them come in classes. I taught seventh grade, so you would get I would get two or three or four or five of them from special ed would come in during one class period, and they would bring a teacher assistant in with them, and so I enjoyed the special ed because I'm in a wheelchair, and so I was on their level somewhat, maybe not mentally, but emotionally and stuff like that with them, and so I would take them in and pair them up with the so-called normal kids. One, this way the normal kids can learn some compassion, they can learn patience, they can learn, and plus the others can build friendship and stuff like that. So I understand somewhat what they were trying to do. Maybe not everything, but yeah, I can understand part of it.
And so, I didn't think about it that way from your point of view, but now it kind of makes sense a little bit as well. But like you also said, it kind of just kind of goes both ways, where it's kind of hard to see one side of the other because it's like
Oh
because,
yeah.
because like when I was younger, I just like this doesn't seem to make any sense. And I didn't like it that they were interrupting my schedule. And
Hmm.
because it was never scheduled in my schedule. And because like my assistant, the teacher assistant or aide or whatever, uh, written down my schedule, and it was never ever planned. It was just spontaneous. And it's like, you can't do this to me. And I was like, you interrupt my schedule, I get very pissed off.
Yeah,
And
give me warning,
yeah.
let's give me time to understand what's going on. I understand that as well, yeah. So, yeah, so I wish they would do whether it's your case or any other case. I understand with the special ed and them being there in their classroom and being friends with them, but encourage them to be friends with the so-called normal mainstream because who are they going to be around most of their life? The world, which is mostly mainstream, because not all special eds get out and do something.
Yeah, and plus, I've always, yeah, and like, and one of the things and then so, uh, when I started getting bullied on the bus and whatnot, I've been having I had a lot of autism meltdowns, which,
Hmm.
just, uh, just literally affected my mood and everything. Like I my moods were very, very like basically by the end of the time my autism meltdown was done, everything was just in a wreckage,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't my proudest moments or whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Well, see, that's a sign right there. When you said it wasn't my proudest moments, and that's a sign of maturity right there. You're accepting responsibility. It was the way I was then. I would try to avoid that today because I learned from it. And so it's great that you say that, that it was a proud moment, because that's taking accountability. That's awesome.
definitely. And but I also I think that I know I could have avoided that in a lot of different ways, but to my point of what I said just a few minutes ago, it was kind of I, I felt like the school wasn't helping me along in elementary school, and they
Mm-hmm.
were just kind of just taking me out of the classroom, not giving me a heads up. They just
Yeah,
and like some of the faculty even asked my parents, even wrote notes home to my parents. It's like, we don't understand why Jimmy is not cooperating. And my parents saw it. It's like, well, you're not giving him a heads up. You're not telling him what's
that's
going to
right.
happen. And
That's
it's like
right.
so, and it's like so. Gee, I wonder why he's getting pissed off.
Well, and same thing. If you yank those teachers out of the room to go make them do something they don't really want to do, are they going to be happy? and
Probably
and
not.
exactly. And that's again where they should have prepped you. They should have told you, hey, Jimmy, in 2 weeks here's what's going to go, and should explain to you why you're going there, not just go over there and make friends.
Yeah.
But they should have prepped you 2 weeks in advance. Hey, this is what's going to happen here in 2 weeks. And then even if every day they got to remind you, they should have give you a chance for you to mentally prepare to go to do what you need to. Yeah.
And so, and the bullying started like on the bus, just asking just questions that I didn't know because I didn't learn it yet
Mm-hmm.
or learn that stuff yet. And then so I felt just very stupid from what the bullies were asking me.
Mm-hmm.
Though then again, I don't know if there were necessarily bullies because later on in high school, they started like they were very nice and whatnot. So again, it could have been just I don't know, just they were more mature later on. But
Mm-hmm.
uh,
That same as when I mentioned you about maturity. They could just been immature, goofy. They could have been bullied somewhere, and now for them to feel good, they bullied you, which is it's not right, but that could be what they were doing. And as they grew up, they matured and realized what they were doing is wrong, and made it a little easier on you by not bullying and try to be friends. So, yeah.
and
That's
then
that's that's again great to view, to recognize their maturity.
yeah, and like and then when I and then going forward in my so and then like in middle school, my seventh grade teacher, uh, she knew I was getting bullied a lot in middle school. I got like hit in the neck with my spinal stenosis, which
Mm-hmm.
is very dangerous because I could be paralyzed from the neck down
Mm-hmm.
if I get severe whiplash. And there's one assistant principal in the back of my head, I refer to him as Mr. Wacko because I felt like he was. And the reason I referred to him as that, and I never called this to in his face or anything, but in my
Mm-hmm.
back of my mind, it's like, is this guy head screwed on right? Because he said bullying didn't exist in middle school. I'm like, it doesn't exist, and it's like so that's why I'm in your office 24/7 reporting that there's bullying going on. But
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, are you smoking weed or something? Because I was like,
Yeah.
can I have some so I can be in that magical world of yours?
So
And
so I
again,
don't so
never
I
said
don't
I'd meet
notice the
that to him.
bullying. That way you can say, so I don't notice the bullying.
Yeah.
A good thing about this, I mean, sad you went through all that. I'm sorry about that, Jimmy. Good thing about it, hopefully today, the way school shootings and crap like that's happened, hopefully today they are taking this bullying more serious to
Me
help
too.
people to help people not get bullied, but also to get hold to the ones that are bullying and help them grow up quicker to stop it. So hopefully, I'm not teaching any longer, but hopefully they're taking it more serious today.
Uh, I hope that too. But so my seventh grade teacher, how she got me, I think she know in some way that she. What I really liked about my seventh grade teacher in middle school was that she knew how to teach on everybody's different level of learning. So I was never deprived of, oh, I don't know that, or I don't know this, or I don't know that. She
Hmm.
like she taught at my own pace, and of course she taught the class together. But I mean, when she went around the room and was like, Jimmy, do you need help with this? And I was like, yes, I do. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. And
Hmm.
she even used visual, like physical visual stuff. Like let's say if it was about I don't know. I'm a good example. Well, for instance, we got like she since she was a special education teacher, used she taught science, math, and history. Actually, was it history? I would say history, and I guess I don't remember all the exact
Hmm.
details, but
Hmm.
she during science class we got she to make these small little volcanoes, and I mean it was like out of clay, but it was still cool because she like taught us and it's like this is how lava takes time to build up and erupt, and it's
Hmm.
like this thing is fun. It's like wow. Uh, and
Well,
so
I
she
like your
taught us
teacher there, Jimmy.
visually.
Yeah, I like your teacher there. You're talking about because I taught seventh grade science, and the great thing about that is again, like you said, different way of learning. So we could work with kids that really enjoyed the reading and get it that way. But then the hands-on experiments come in, and that's for all of them to learn, but especially for people like you know, can learn with the hand-on experience and stuff like that. And so that's a great thing about science that you could work in a lot of experiments.
Yeah, and then what I also appreciated is that even when I was getting bullied throughout the day, going from class to class to class to class, and this assistant principal who was still crazy and whacked in his head, she started eventually going to him because I was missing my bus because apparently one of the bullies was on my bus too.
Hmm.
And it's like you would think that the school would just kind of have some kind of logic. And it's like, well, he's getting harassed by this one student and he's on his bus too. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, but they may not have control of that because if y'all lived on the same route going home, yeah, they probably have. Other than they probably could have somehow separated you on the bus. I guess I don't know about that point. All right, Jimmy. Hey, let's get into this. Let's move forward a little bit. What's this crazy fitness guy tag that you have?
So that it's a website that promotes healthy living through my autistic eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's for people on and off of the spectrum learning how to start living a healthier lifestyle. And the reason why I started it was because after the first college, uh, my first English class in college, my English teacher told me the only way to get better at writing was to write every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that dawned on me because I was thinking, what could I possibly write every single day? And I was like, I can't write in a Word document because I'll just go crazy. And, and then uh, and then I was like also thinking, well, what could I possibly do? And then I know I couldn't do a Word document, Google document, and whatnot. And so I saw this one person in my other class who, and well, one person in my class, he had a website of his own, and he writes on it every single day on it. And I was like, I want a website. And though my first mistake of ever creating a website was starting with WordPress,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna, and I'm full disclaimer, I'm not bashing WordPress, but even though I was good at technology, I mean, I know how to work with it, I know how the ins and outs of it.
Give
Running
me
a
the
website with WordPress.
Yeah, give me the drag and drops. I I haven't tried enough with the WordPress yet either. Um, I just prefer the easier method,
Yeah,
right or wrong, but that's me. Yeah,
yeah.
same
I was
thing with
like,
you. I'm not bashing them, but I just know what works for me, and they understand that.
yeah, and so like it was just not for me, and it was like everything was just breaking, and I was working like 90 hours a week just
Oh
to
yeah.
figure out what's going on. And I was like, this is so unhealthy, and I don't need to do it. So then I moved to Squarespace because they just they do all the technical stuff for you. They do all the maintenance. I mean, the only maintenance I have to do is keep my page URLs the same. So if
Hmm.
something breaks, I just have to fix it. But other than that, I was like, they take all care of all the security for me. I was like, thank goodness. I
Yes,
was like, I
that's
would
right.
pay a
That's
little
right.
extra.
That's right. Yeah, not everybody is technical advanced. Okay, like you say, for me, just let me do the drag and drop, and I can type what I need to and put in a picture from there. Yeah, that's for me. So it's not fancy like other people, but it does for me.
Yeah, and so I started Crazy Fitness Guy back on April 12th of 2017,
Hmm.
and I've been up and running ever since. The podcast started on April 12th of 2020 because going into my third year of running Crazy Fitness Guy, I knew I wanted to start getting my I just knew I wanted to expand something different because I was like, I'm gonna still keep writing, but I was like, I want to keep something fun for me. And it's like
Oh
because
yeah.
I mean I like writing at times, but sometimes when you just feel like, oh gee, all I do is write. I need something else to keep me going
Oh, you
because
gotta have pleasure too. Yeah.
yeah. And then so my teacher, one of my teachers in college, he said to me, "Is like, Jimmy, if you want to be a motivational speaker, you need to get your voice to be heard." And I was like, "She's absolutely right. I guess it's time for me to start the podcast."
Hmm.
And so I start the podcast, and it's been up and running for almost 2 years now. And
Good
like,
deal.
before we got on the show, I told you I switched hosts this year, so everything we set back to zero, which makes sense because uh, two different analytics from two different
Oh
hosts.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're never gonna play together each
That's
other.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Bullying the playground is going to happen again there.
Yeah. So I was like, oh well, you know what? It's kind of a bummer, but I was like, well, I think this is more accurate than the other one. But again, not bashing. Again,
Yeah, I
I
understand.
haven't
Yeah.
seen I haven't seen anything perfect, so it's not like I could tell which was more accurate than the
Well,
other.
you know as well as everybody else, the way life is, nothing's going to be perfect. And so, as much
Except
as
for maybe
people,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, there we go. But yeah, with all this analytics and everything, everybody's trying their best to make things perfect. But I don't know if they'll ever really get to. Now, crazy fitness guy, how did you come up with that? I mean, you work out 100 times a week, or
I work at
or you work out once a week, but you do it for 24 straight hours, or
uh,
how did they come up with crazy fitness guy?
well, I work out 6 days a week,
Uh huh.
and so. And when I first started, I was known as a different name, but I didn't like the way it was going. It was energy sucking. And then the other name was, and I'm not going to say that name because I don't want people to refer to me as that name. But there's this other name that was that I can't say either because
hold back. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Keep it to yourself. We'll just use our imagination.
But then there was this other name that was actually a trademark violation, which I can't say it because
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And,
all right.
And I knew I've heard about the trademark laws and the copyright laws, but I didn't know how far in detail it went until I started. So it was totally my mistake, and I didn't know. And so I got my first cease and desist letter
There
when
you
I first
go.
started.
Now you're getting important in life now.
I mean, this was when I first started at. So I changed the name, and I just started randomizing different words together. It's like crazy fitness guy, and I was like, sounds pretty clever, sounds cool. And so then fast forward to now, I mean, like last year I got a trademark for it, and it's registered, so don't try stealing my stuff.
There you go. Now
I got a lawyer on hand.
Now the first person who tries to get crazy fitness guy is going to send you a cease and desist letter.
Exactly. Karma comes around.
That's right. Good deal. So, all right, Jimmy. So, who do you get on your podcast? People that are just working out, autism people. I mean, who do you get on your guest show?
So I had a lot of different people. I had authors, I had motivational speakers, fitness personal trainers, nutritionists, business people,
a lot of people with positive messages.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I also include business is because there's a lot of people that I had on, like the personal trainer. He works out. He commutes to the gym to use their equipment, but he worked for himself and he had his own website, and he runs his own business by himself. He doesn't split anything with anyone. And so I was like, yeah, I got to include business because if somebody's like, well, this is a healthy living podcast, how can he cover business? And it's like, the people I have on run their own businesses, so I had to include it.
That's healthy. They're running their own business. That's
exactly.
Healthy life. Yeah, there you go. Tell them it's your show. You can do what you want to. That's
exactly.
What you tell them. That's what you tell them. So, all right, good deal. Hey, now Jimmy, I forgot what I was going to ask you, but if I can remember, but until then, hey, go and tell people your website or the social media how they can find you.
The best way you can find me is go to crazyfitnessguy.com. Between me and Crazy Fitness Guy, we have 100 plus profiles. And the reason why I did that is because when I was literally hiding behind Crazy Fitness Guy and just using everything under Crazy Fitness Guy and not putting it under my own name, and I was when I updated, like when I shared stuff, milestones on Crazy Fitness Guy, social media, no one gave a crap. No one commented. No one was like, oh, there's another brand tooting its own horn. But then I was like, no one's engaging with this. I was like, this is annoying. And so I decided, okay, I'm just going to I'm just going to get out behind Crazy Fitness Guy and showcase me and what I do behind the scenes and everything else. And once I start just showcasing the updates for Crazy Fitness Guy of like milestones and whatnot, people's like, "Oh, congratulations!" And it's like, "Oh, now you care."
There you go. So that's it. Yeah, get out there and let everybody know who this Crazy Fitness Guy is, and get out there and push it the best you can. And hope you get some speaking gigs, as they say. Especially now with this virus and everything, everything's trying to get lifted, so there'll be more getting out to go do now. So it was great during the Zooming time and people staying at home doing it. And so I hope to continue doing that as well. But I can see people want to get more personal with it as well. So
True that, and plus I've been on 117 podcast episodes.
great job. Way to get out there. There you go.
I've been featured on Australia Live TV. I've also been promoted in New York City Times Square on the big billboard. And I co-authored a book that it's still not out yet, but I can't rush the person because then she might kick me out.
Don't do that, man. Don't rush them. Take it
Exactly.
easy, be patient and everything. Hey, my backyard science. Hey, yeah, we were talking science a minute ago. Hey, thank you for coming in. Said hi, Professor of Perseverance. Stopped for a few. Hope you're doing well. Hey, we hope that you are doing well, backyard science. And again, this is Jimmy Clare, the crazy fitness guy. So, all right, Jimmy. Hey, man, appreciate you coming and sharing your story and everything. You're incredible, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just amazed and glad that you come on my little old podcast. So, but you're doing incredible things. You keep up a good hard work and everything.
Thank
Now,
you.
Jimmy, you know there's people hurting and struggling today, and if you could leave us with a positive message to help them get through today, that'd be a blessing, man.
Okay. Well, one of the things that keeps me going in life is that uh, just because somebody says you can't do something and think that you're weak or whatnot doesn't mean that's not true. It's not true at all. I've like for instance, I'll give you a quick story. My there was one person in my college semester, one semester, who yeah, we did these icebreakers and like just to get to know each other. So it went around this group. He told our group first, and like, yeah, I work the desk behind the gym, and I get consistent pay and whatnot. And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so we all took turns, and finally I got to mine, me, and I said, yeah, I'm a founder and owner of crazyfitnessguy.com and whatnot. And he snickered at me. And he's like, and the very first question that he asked, how can you make money off of a website? And I was like, have you heard of Amazon? Have you heard of Walmart? Have you heard of all those big name brands? And it's like they have websites, they have and their brand. And it's like the better question to ask is how can you personally make money off of a website? Because that would be at least a legitimate question. But so my point of telling you that story, everyone, the story is that uh, I would love to be able to see him now, and it's like, yeah, guess what? I just got awarded. Crazy Fitness Guy got awarded the 101 best startup company in Pennsylvania. So I would love to see what he has to say for that. I was like, how's that working at the gym behind the desk doing for you?
There you go. I did see that on your website a while ago before you got on, and saw that you were in the top 101 startup business. And congratulations for that, and
Thank you.
appreciate it. Hey, my backyard science said hi to Jimmy as well. So saying hi to you as well from my
Hello.
backyard science. So all right, Jimmy, man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you shared that about your business being one of the top, okay, 101 there, top businesses, startup business. So that's more incredible things that you're doing. So, all
Thank you.
right, you're welcome, Jimmy. Appreciate you being here. Everyone else, hey, share this out to someone you know that needs some inspiration, some motivation, some hope to grab on to. Jimmy's going to give you some. Just listen to his story. Everyone else, I'm Dr. James Purdue, the Professor of Perseverance. Thank you for listening to the Professor of Perseverance podcast. It couldn't happen without you. I mean, you know that because I don't want to listen to it all by myself. And so, yeah, I need all of you to listen to make things right. All right. Thank y'all, everybody. Do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.